Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining the Church Communications Podcast. I'm your host, Daryl Girardier, and with me, as always, my co-host, the one and only Katie Allred. Katie, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
You know what? Today was nothing but meetings.
Yeah, you were in a lot of meetings today. I didn't see you at all.
No, I was in a lot of meetings, and
Seemed like they were top secret meetings.
I may have questioned some life choices during those meetings, to be honest with you. I may have questioned some of the life choices that I made up to this point in my life of why I was in these meetings. But no, I have to say, it was great. It was wonderful, you know. So it was good. I can't complain. I really can't. You know, summer's winding down, and you know, for us, you know, we're about to ramp up fall. I mean, like we do Christmas planning like next week.
I know. I'm actually really excited about that, though.
I am too. I'm super excited to kind of get ahead of that. So
I want it to be beautiful and gold. Can I just go ahead and like put in my 2 cents? I want it to be gold, like golden.
Golden. I like that. A golden Christmas.
Right.
You're gonna push for gold. All right, that's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know. I'm sure Todd, he's running.
We're just come up pitches, right? I should make like a sweet mood board and be like, I'm not even your designer, but here's my sweet mood board.
You should not do a mood board. You should do like one of those, what do they call them, like the dream board, or like, you know, like you're like
like I should pull up like a real bulletin board and like pull up some Southern Living, like some cutouts I did from like the 90s episode, like
exactly.
The 90s
and say you misunderstood the assignment and you said, I didn't realize. You said mood board. I brought a dream board. So you should totally do that. Or
like Jennifer Gardner does in 13 Going on 30, and she brings her like boards of like, we could be like this.
Exactly. That's exactly what we should do. Hey, today's podcast is brought to you by the National Discipleship Forum happening in Nashville, Tennessee. Join 1,000 disciple makers in Nashville, Tennessee for this 2-day forum that will equip you as the disciple maker. Get 20% off with the promo code ChurchCom. Learn from disciple makers like Jim Putman, Tom Rayner, Shirley Newbell, Robert Coleman, Nate Larkin, Ariana Ribson, Daniel M., and Daniel Spader, Kenan Vaughn, Todd Wilson, and others. 13 tracks, 15 speakers, 65 plus workshops, 13 organizations who are devoted to equipping you to make disciples who will be offering you practical training as you grow. And if you want an idea of what that's going to be like, you can search on our feed and check out my interview with Bobby Harrington, the author of Disciple Shift and the Disciple Maker's Handbook. He was really good talking about how we as communicators can talk about discipleship. So make sure to check it out. We'll put the link in the show notes. Use the promo code ChurchCom to get 20% off. And by the way, it's hosted at our church. So the bonus is if you come there, guess what? We're going to be there. So there you go.
The event is November 9th through 10th.
Okay.
I don't think we said that before, but you know what? I feel like that's important. When is the event? November 9th through 10th, 2017. So if you're listening to this like 400 years from now, you're too late. But
yes.
Try again next year.
Exactly. All right, Katie, let's jump into the big five.
Yeah. Okay. So the first one is Google adds video preview to their search results, exploring subscription tools.
Okay. So what we're thinking this is, Katie, is that if you have some sort of video component to your website, it looks like possibly they're going to start including that in the preview results.
Yeah, it says the company is also testing ways to help publishers boost paid subscriptions, such as by using Google's mobile payment tools and data to target likely subscribers.
Interesting. I'm wondering
I don't know if they're going to like work with YouTube. I mean, obviously you would think, but maybe not. Google used to have a Google video thing that was like a little more academic.
They did. I remember that.
It was like definitely like a cleaner thing. Like I wouldn't go to YouTube. I'd go to Google Video a lot of times because I don't know, it felt more academic. I don't know.
No, it did. Well, it was. That was the whole intention of it. But but you bring up a good point though. Is if Google and Facebook, this is the trend we've seen. I think we talked about this last week when we talked about Facebook Watch. Is that the trend is going all in on video? Okay, then I think it would make sense. Because it's not in this article, but there's another article about this as well, where all of a sudden they're going to start including the video previews in mobile as well, at least on Android. Is that they're going to start including previews of video in the search results.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of do that. It's like YouTube. But if your website has video and has video up front, I think they would reward you in regards to that. So that's a possibility in some way. And that may be, Katie, getting type it down to the deep drive. That could be something in terms of like when you've got an image and the OG image in on a website. Open Graph, yeah, thank you. I just call it OG because I just remember
the original gangster image.
The original gangster image, yes. I wonder if it's like an Open Graph way to do video. I'm not sure. Is there a way to do that?
To do video? Yeah, I mean, I think the thumbnail is the Open Graphed image, so you can always set that.
Interesting. So, who knows? But that looks like that's a possibility. So, again,
sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All right. That's fine. Number 2, Google and Walmart team to take up Amazon. Looks like Google and Walmart announced a partnership on Wednesday that will make items from the big box retailer available through the search engine's Google Express shopping service. This looks like, Katie, it's a play to make Google Home, that wonderful little speaker device, compete with the Echo. Right.
So Google and Walmart are basically trying to be Amazon together. So that's a really that's something, like I don't think that's an unlikely duo. So the partnership just was like announced yesterday or something. So everybody hates Walmart, so maybe this will help. I don't know.
Do you go to Walmart?
I actually love Walmart, but I'm from Alabama. I think it's like very much like a Southern thing. I don't know. There's something about a good Walmart,
I'd like to see a good Walmart. I have yet to see one.
Whatever, the one in Franklin is beautiful. Like, it's very clean.
That's true. It is. It is, Franklin. Yes, you're right. You're very, very right.
Now, there are some Walmarts that are not very nice. So the one in Franklin, Tennessee is like, it gets 5 stars in my book. So I hope they find this and give me some gift cards. So
you need to go on Yelp and rate it 5 stars. By the way, Gavin Allen asked what happened last night on the Brentwood Facebook page. You went live 5 times for like 2 hours apiece.
We did, and they were all black, and we're sorry.
We're sorry about that.
Like a random feed of darkness.
One of the media engineers forgot to hit the off switch on the video encoder. And that's what happened. That's what happens when you.
It wasn't real technical. It just happened.
That's what happens when you move fast and break things. All right, story number 3.
Facebook test offline to digital ad targeting. So Facebook is rolling out a way for retailers, or possibly even churches, to push people from Facebook to their brick and mortar location.
And so now the company's trying the inverse, it looks like.
Which is what we've been trying to do this whole time. Like, we've been trying to push people from online into person this entire time. So Facebook's testing out an option for advertisers to target people who visited their real-world locations with ads on Facebook and Instagram. I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do that. I guess mostly with people who have RSVP'd to an event. Like, if they RSVP to an event, then they're going to see more of that person's ads and stuff, even if they haven't liked the page.
So
it's kind of like liking the page, being interested in an event.
So I guess for churches, the play here really isn't so much. The play would be for first time if there's a way to track and target first time visitors who physically visit your church and then come back and place ads. Because I don't feel like the need to place ads for people who come on a regular basis, though, right?
You could, I guess, if you were trying to get people sign up for an event. Like, we have an immersion event, that's a discipleship conference, and that's for people who keep coming back to church, not for first-time guests. But if we were trying to get them to get involved and do our Discover, our membership class, I could see where this could be handy. Although, couldn't you do that if you already have their email address from their comm card? So you can take an email list, turn around, and target.
Yep, you can. So
Facebook guys towards that email list.
So here's a question for our audience at some point. I wonder if anybody's taken, say, everybody fills out a comm card, a communications card for short, new visitor card, whatever you call it, taking all the email addresses, take it as CSV, upload it up to Facebook ads, and then run ads against that list.
We have done that before for an event.
Yes.
We've done that for an event, but we haven't done that for first-time guests. I think that would actually be really cool if maybe you took your entire month's worth of first-time guests. So if you did it once a month and spent $20 on targeting some ads about Discover, about the new membership class, I think that might actually be a really cool funnel. I don't know. We should try that.
We should totally try that. And I don't think the expense would basically be on how many new visitors you have a month.
Guys, this is how we come up with ideas.
This right here, you're watching the whole
During
process.
During the podcast, we come up with our best ideas.
We do. Alrighty, next story. Mark Zuckerberg says Facebook will test subscriptions for news stories. Here's how it works. Publishers use instant articles. If you haven't used instant articles before, it's Facebook's kind of instant, super fast loading page system. Basically lets your page or your website load super fast inside of Facebook, which I play with it, and it is ultra fast. It's like Google. Very comparison would be like Google AMP.
Yeah.
However, what they're doing is they're trying to get with publishers and saying, guess what? You can do this. We want you to use this. And if you do this, we're going to let you start charging for articles. Like when you read the New York Times and you can only read 10 articles, when they get the 11th article, they hit the Facebook instant ad inside Facebook. And guess what? Boom, we'll hit them up with a subscription. Here's the crazy part, Katie. They're not taking any money. Facebook's not.
At least not now.
Not now. But
so I don't know what that means for them.
Well, I think it goes back to what it means is that
Facebook wants to keep people on Facebook.
They want to keep on Facebook, and they want your content. So I think for churches, this goes back to a fundamental thing that we know, and it's kind of core as you're thinking through your Facebook strategy, folks. One of the core elements you have to understand is that when you deliver stuff to Facebook that keeps people on Facebook, Facebook rewards you.
Exactly. So you posting a YouTube link or a Vimeo link over to your Facebook is not going to work as well as you just uploading the video directly.
Exactly.
I know it's annoying, but you got to do it. Go the extra step.
And I will tell you, Katie and I had to do we did what we call for our staff a lunch and learn, which is basically us once a month. Our staff has a tutorial by somebody.
And then Kenny started doing lunch and learns. So way to go. I said Kenny started doing lunch and learns.
Kenny did. Yes. So what we did was we did one on Facebook, and one of the harder things we found out with our ministers, if you may run into this, is they just want to hand you a link to their event that's probably on your church calendar and say promote X, and they just hand it to you as if that's going to work.
Right, like posting that 20 times is going to help anything.
Yeah, it won't happen. It won't help. It won't help at all.
Yeah.
No help whatsoever.
It will diminish your page's reach.
Yes, it will diminish.
Thank you for ruining my reach by asking me to post this link 40 times. It's not going to help you, and definitely not going to help me.
If you want
I literally cannot get that across enough.
Well, it's also the equivalent of can I have my own page?
Yeah. It's like a broken record. Should I have my? No, you shouldn't.
We got that request today from somebody. Can I have my own page? And
no.
I'm going to get a T-shirt. That says,
"No, you cannot have your own page."
And that's all.
Put those in our shop.
I am going to do that. I'm going to design those.
Communications.com shop.
I'm going to put that in the shop. So there you go. We're going to make that happen.
No, you can't have it. I think that's what it's just be no, you can't. That should just be the shirt.
Maybe what we should do is, and when we set up, folks, if you set up a communications request form, which you should always do, as I'm going to have it detect the text that says Facebook page. And if it says that, it's going to auto respond with no.
No.
Just no. There we go.
Although groups now, maybe yes. You know, we're testing that, and honestly, I think it's going to work well for a lot of ministries, and I'm really excited to see what that future kind of looks like. But with trepidation, obviously do anything and do it. I don't know. At first, I like to be so restrictive before I start giving freedom, because that's when it gets hairy. So like if you start off really strict, that's when things, I think, seem to blossom. I don't think people understand that a lot with Facebook groups. Even this group especially, the more strict we are, the better the group is for everyone.
Oh, I know. It seems like it's the inverse of what you would think. You would think the more free and looser you are, the more things would be better, but the inverse typically.
Because then people get some hurt feelings and stuff. That's not fun. Anyway, so
there you go.
Facebook. One more about Facebook. This is all Google and Facebook today. They're taking over the world. Actually, going back to Google just for a second, I had read an article earlier today about Google, and it says that Google doesn't want you to say Google. Like they don't want you to use it as a verb. Like it's like a big trademark battle for them, is that they even went to against Merriam-Webster in the dictionary, saying, I don't want Google to be a verb. It's a noun. It's our company.
And they tell their employees not to use the term Google.
Right. Don't say I Googled it. Like,
Yeah.
that's not a real thing. So, that's something for them. I don't know why they're so against it. Like, I feel like it's really good for them. I mean, it's like Kleenex, you know?
I think what they feel is that if you use it so much, it actually loses its meaning. It loses its uniqueness as a brand. It feels like it gets watered down in their mind.
Microsoft would love for people to be saying I Binged it. I'm just saying, or I Yahoo'd it. You know, like, we don't say that.
We don't. You're right. We say I Googled it. And
you remember, like, I remember personally loving MSN as my search engine, like back in the early, or late MSN. 1999, early 2000, like loving MSN. It was like my jam.
I used it, and I rocked a copy of Windows ME, which is a Windows Millennium Edition.
Oh.
Yes, which was literally the worst operating system known to mankind. But it came like with like some really funky version of Internet Explorer that had MSN embedded as your default search engine. And they're like, there's no way you could change it at the time. You couldn't even change it to Yahoo. Like, you're stuck with this. Yes, I totally remember that.
Such a good time in our lives to reminisce on.
I just remember the loading screen, how long it took to load. Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. So Facebook, we're going to go to the last article. Facebook usage among teens is set to drop in the United States. Like, we didn't already know that.
Okay, so here's the question, because what they're saying is that the growth is going to come in Instagram and Snapchat. So a couple things. One, I'm assuming for Facebook, it's a bit of a wash. I can lose them to Instagram because I still own Instagram, right?
Yeah, and I feel like they're making Instagram more Facebooky every day.
Okay. Yes, I agree. I would agree with that. So the question then becomes for us is you and I have said before with our social media strategy that if we were going to push all the chips in the middle of the table, we're pushing them in on Instagram and Facebook, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Okay. So at what point do we decide what will be our indicators by which we may have to pull back on Facebook, push further into Instagram, and then maybe Snapchat or the thing after that? Because I'm wondering, like, is it one of those things where we're going to see, is Facebook truly a generational social media tool or network? Or is it one of these things like when you kind of grow up, you just kind of like, I've grown up now, I got to start using Facebook. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think that's what it's going to be. Like, I really feel like Facebook is going to be the white pages of the next, 100 years. Like, it's going to be like, you have Facebook because you want to be able to talk to each other, or have enough, like, I don't have to get your phone number anymore. I can just be like, I know your name, so I'm going to look you up on Facebook, and then I'm going to add you so we can message back and forth, and we don't have to worry about our iOSs, like, syncing, because, like, that's how most of my friends talk now is, like, we're just on a bunch of different Facebook Messenger chats, because then we don't have to worry about having blue or green bubbles or whatever from Android to iOS. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, which is really, really nice. And Facebook's added a lot of really great features to Messenger, and they also bought WhatsApp, which is huge internationally. And honestly, Facebook, I mean, it has grown to 2 billion users, and it's a big international thing. And I think too, with their emphasis on groups, I think it's just going to become I've said that before. I think it's just the new white pages. And like, you just have to have it. Now, whether people will be engaged on it as much as they are today, yet to be seen. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know if 5 years from now or 2 years from now we're going to be like, Instagram's the only way to go, or something else completely. Instagram.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the moment I will say that we're going to like go all in on Instagram is when we get like 100 likes on every single one of our post. We're getting close. Like, we have surpassed, like, we've gone to 150 likes when we have good pictures. Like when we have my intern taking good quality photos, I can easily see like 150, which is crazy. Like, I didn't think I would ever see that. But when we don't, like, we're easily seeing 40 now, which we were only seeing like 10, so we've been growing, like, it's substantial, but until we like have, I mean, honestly, it feels like if you're going to go all in on Facebook, you need to hire a photographer for your church.
Yeah, no, that I agree with. See, I wonder. You're right. I think when we say I look at Facebook, Facebook is becoming to a certain degree a public utility, and it is the white pages, the phone book, or however you want to describe it. So I wonder if Facebook becomes this layer, and then it buys companies, WhatsApp, Instagram, whatever, that kind of sit on top of that, on top of the Facebook layer. So in other words, does it if all of a sudden if they see a teen shift from Instagram to another platform, they either try to buy that platform or they come up with their own and they replicate it, because they seem to get being better at figuring out where Snapchat's going and then turning around and jumping on where Snapchat has them beat, though, is Snapchat has done a better job in creating custom content just for its platform. You and I both have a good friend, Mr. Cameron Childs, who is the current producer editor of The Voice on Snapchat. So we know that they're kind of beating them to the punch on that. But I wonder if that's where it's going to be, is that we're always going to have Facebook as this bot. Like, in other words, when you run an Instagram ad, what do? You go on Facebook to run your Instagram ad, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I wonder if, like, eventually they start building more of these. If WhatsApp had the ability to all of a sudden run ads, if you run your ads through Facebook.
Probably. I see Facebook's trying to be such a hub. You know, remember like 3 or 4 years ago when Facebook decided that they would launch their own email addresses, and everybody had a Facebook email address, and everyone freaked out about it. They were like, I don't want to get my email on my Facebook. And like everybody was so upset. And literally though, I think they were just trying to like steal Gmail. Like I think that was like their thought. And then they were like, oh, we launched this too quickly. They're not ready for it yet. I bet they will do that again in 3 to 5 years.
You think
they'll do it again and nobody will blink?
See, I think the deal. I think at the end of the day, like here's what kind of struck me in the last month: the number of people that a couple people I don't met. I got cold called with, and in a good way, they wanted to talk shop, and we just immediately I said, yeah, let's chat. He goes, you want to chat right now? I said, yeah. And before I knew it, he opened up Facebook Video Messenger. We were video chatting like that. I mean, we connected within 20 seconds. We're video chatting, or friends that I know who we need to talk on the phone because it needs to be a long form conversation, not a text conversation, that we hit each other through Facebook audio. We just made a phone call through the Facebook app because honestly, I don't know if I've got that person's right number. So
there's some good stuff there.
So do you see like a Facebook Workplace playing into that as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there is that too. I don't know if they're gunning after your email, like if that's like their ultimate plan. Like I'm hoping to be your work and your everything. Like, but I mean, it really seems like they want to be the entirety of the internet to you. They don't want you to leave. I mean, they're almost like even when Google got rid of Reader, like no telling people who just went and liked all their favorite like news channels on Facebook. And they just considered their newsfeed on Facebook to replace Google Reader in some weird fashion.
Yeah, no, that is true. Here's the problem I'm running into I'll say this is confession time in terms of this, is that what I'm running into though in terms of the newsfeed is when I get stuff from groups in my feed versus people who I'm friends with who are in the group, how I contextualize comments sometimes is different if I'm responding inside the group versus I'm responding in public.
Right.
So I have found, because they're not clearly neatly it is kind of clear, but like I made a comment the other day on somebody else's post and it was as if he was in the group, which he's in the group, but his post was not inside the group. It was on his personal Facebook page. So I immediately had to delete it because the joke wouldn't have made sense unless he was in the group. And so I get a little worried about that newsfeed being a little cluttered and not me, the individual. You're talking news feeds from companies coming in, personal news feed, then all of a sudden my group stuff comes in and page stuff comes in.
It's a lot.
It is a lot. And all of a sudden I'm not so sure for somebody who wants to kind of have it somewhat segmented. I don't know if it works, if it's scalable in the long haul, if that makes sense.
I wonder about it. And Facebook used to be about, faces, right? And about seeing your family and that kind of stuff. And for the longest, I was like, I'm going to keep my Facebook only to, I'm not going to add any friends that I don't know. And I was doing really good until a stupid group, y'all. I'm just kidding.
No, I'm the same way.
Like I was doing
Because
great. I have a page, and I prefer for people to go that way. But at the same time, it's kind of like, well, I'm probably going to meet you in real life if you're coming somewhere that I am. So it's kind of like, well, maybe I'll. And then I start like budging, but I still have like 100 friendship requests. I'm so sorry, everyone.
well, look at you, like you just humble bragged. I just got like 100 Facebook, and I'm like I'm looking
No,
right now.
in like the last like 3 years that I haven't accepted, not in like the last day.
Okay. Because I'm looking right now, and I've cleaned most of mine
That's
out.
because you're a good person. You just hit delete, and I can't. I'm just like I can't. I don't know. We're all hanging out in the friendship zone.
No, I've actually accepted more, and I'll tell you why. It's replaced LinkedIn for me.
Okay, so as a professional network.
As a professional network, like if I need to make connections with one of these people online, in terms of like, so Jamie Fernandez and I had a conversation today about about multi-campus.
Yeah.
Like, how do you scale out your systems? Well, normally that conversation may have come on LinkedIn because we would have professionally looked each other up and said, oh, he's a comms person at this church, he's a comms person at this church. Let's meet, and I'll endorse you and all that other LinkedIn junk. And then all of a sudden you're like, and I'll endorse you. Let's exchange emails. It's like whatever. Business cards. None of that happened. This was like he just messaged me like, hey, you want to chat? Like, boom, boom, boom. Before you know it, we're on a phone call. So for me, that's why I like.
LinkedIn's kind of lame now. Sorry, LinkedIn.
Well, that's why like I don't use. So therefore, for me personally, Facebook. You talked about being family. I never use it for family. I don't use it. My wife does, but like, be honest with you, it's mostly business now. Like I say, business. It's mostly me getting. I say business. It's mostly me getting to know other people who do the work that we do.
Yeah. I agree. That's mostly who all my friends are anyway. No, I'm just kidding. I have real friends.
I have real friends. There you
go. They're here somewhere. Not in my house. So yeah, cool.
You want to give the shout out? Because I'm not doing the shout out. You have to do the shout out. I am not doing it.
Guys, I'm just gonna shout out to Taylor Swift, her new album that's coming out right now. Like not right now, but she has a single dropping tomorrow, and I think it's coming out November 10th. And let's just be honest here, Taylor Swift, she knows her stuff. If you want to like learn about millennials, I think you should learn Taylor Swift. Okay,
so let's talk about this because you bring up a good point. When she does do this, so she drops the first single, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna drop.
What's her strategy for doing it like this?
Well, you said is the new single drop tomorrow?
Yeah, it drops tomorrow. Okay. The album doesn't come out till November 10th, which isn't like a normal thing. People drop like a single and then they wait a couple months and drop the rest.
But I think you and I would both agree, though, this for the next X amount of days is going to be a fantastic case study on social media. Is it not? Like in terms of like how
she's already got 100,000 retweets on this one tweet of her album.
It's going to be. It's going to be the sense of like watching how she handles Instagram, how she handles Facebook, how she handles Twitter, when she drops stuff. I think it's going to be like a core. It's going to be we're going to be visibly watching a course on how you do how social media can be played out.
Yeah, she like literally deleted all of her social media from before.
Did she really?
Yeah, like she literally, like she only has 4 tweets now. She deleted all of her Instagram. She cleaned out her Facebook page. That's how everybody knew something was going to happen, because literally she deleted everything.
Adam, how many YouTube views the first day of the single?
Well, that's going to be tomorrow, so I guess we'll find out. Probably a lot though. I mean, if they already have 100,000 retweets on Twitter, which isn't like a substantial platform anymore. Sorry. I'm a terrible person. I'm like hating on LinkedIn and Twitter today. But if LinkedIn and Twitter are listening, I still love you. It's okay.
I still love you. I just need to figure out what you're going to do. Just make a life choice. Like
what you want to be when you grow up. That's fine.
No, here's what Twitter is. Twitter is the 20-year-old who still lives in their mom's house and can't really decide what they want to do with their life. And that's why I need Twitter just to like you. Hey, just make a decision, and we'll cheer you on. But at least make a decision.
And LinkedIn's that stiff guy in a suit who's like, you don't really want to invite to the party, but you have to. then you'll feel bad if you didn't invite them to the party. So you're like, well, I gotta be on this because I don't want to leave it out. Then people will be like, oh, that girl's not professional. She doesn't have a LinkedIn.
LinkedIn's the guy. Yeah, LinkedIn's the guy you have to go through to get the person you need to get a hold of, and you're like, I gotta call him. All right, let me see if I can get a hold of it, because you don't want to deal with him because he's going to be all like, "Hey, I've got an exciting marketing opportunity for you," or, he's before you know it, he's going to try to hook you up with Rodan and Fields, and you're like, "Dude,
oh no, I don't want any plexus.
I don't want any plexus. I just want this stuff." So that's when I'm a little like, yeah, I'm a little like, okay. But I will say, I'll say this: the one thing I will say about that network, that LinkedIn, and this is the story I always stick to, is that one person told me the one time one reason why they use that social network is because your resume is attached to whatever you say, and it's surprisingly a clean social network, which makes total sense. It's kind of the anti-Twitter. There's no anonymity, which is cool.
It is nice. I will give it that. I high five that word. Microsoft bought LinkedIn. So that's like an odd thing. Like, what is Microsoft trying to do? I don't know. Get all of our emails, I guess. I don't know.
Well, when they bought it, they also bought lynda.com.
Oh, well, that was a good play.
LinkedIn owned Lynda, so now they own the lynda.com library and they own LinkedIn. So, and I think LinkedIn is started by a guy named Reid Hoffman, who is probably one of the most brilliant people in the world. By the way, if you listen to his podcast, I think it's called The Start or The Startup. It's really, really good.
Cool.
But yeah, so there you go. We don't have a whole lot of love for LinkedIn or Twitter. So there you go. Alrighty, folks, thanks for hanging out with us. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, we would love for you to like it on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, if you would hit that subscribe button, it's going to be located, I think, over here. Or actually, there's a little icon, our little logo will be right there. Hit that button. You go to our profile, hit the red button, hit subscribe, so you can get all the videos in your feed. We would love for you to do that.
Subscribe on iTunes.
Subscribe on iTunes if you're listening to that. If you
review on iTunes.
Yeah, we're on iTunes as well. We got a podcast with a fancy
cover.
We're
everywhere.
We may get new covers, folks. Guess what? Katie and I got some new photos, so we're gonna.
Sweet new pics.
We may spruce up the place a little bit,
I know, right? Like clean it up, look professional. I don't know.
Clean up, look
One
professional.
day we're gonna pray about it.
That's us. All right, folks. We will see you later. We'll be on the group hanging out just like everybody else, and we hope you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Ending live broadcast.
Ending.